Hi everyone, welcome to Weed & Secret. Today I am making my last ever pink champagne cold process soap. I think it's time it went to bed and said goodbye to make way for newer ones. I've made hundreds of batches of this soap and it's done me very well over the last 10 years. But yeah, it's time to make way for something new. Alright, enjoy this video. Thanks for watching. Now what we need to do here, if you remember, this one, the pink champagne isn't in the pot swirl, so I want to separate off some of the soap batter to make the gold swirl. It doesn't have to be a ton. I might just put a little bit. I always put a little bit extra in for luck. I don't believe in luck and all that though. I'm not superstitious at all. But I always tend to do that kind of thing. Then you're going to need another pot to separate off your topping, because you don't want to put the fragrance in the whole batch all at once. But what I need to do first is I need to mix in my titanium dioxide and my pink. So that's what we're going to do now. I've got my pot of TD here mixed with water and I'm going to tip that in. Obviously we needed a little bit more of the pink, so I'm going to put another 1/4 teaspoonful in there. It's better. We definitely need some more, so it's going to be I would say a good 1/2 teaspoonful or even a level teaspoonful. I hope I haven't put too much in. Okay, so we're going to separate off some of that off now, and that'll go for the topping on the soap. Now these containers do actually have a measurement on the side. It has 500 ml, 1 kilo and then 1.5 kilo. Now I know the topping on this takes about 1.4 kilos, so I can just see that measurement on there, and I'm just going to fill that up, and then I know I've got enough for my piping for the top. This container here needs some Aztek gold in there. If you want to do a gold swirl, Aztek gold is one of the best to go for because it's like the darkest colour gold that you can get. I always like to make sure there's enough in there. And then we're also going to add, for the last time, some pink champagne. See, Aztek gold blends in quite easy. You can just put your blender straight back into the pink because it's not going to make any difference to the colour once we get that in there. And the reason I'm finishing the pink champagne, obviously it's had a very long run, but I always buy this in 5 kilo quantities, and I'm just getting to the last of it now, so I thought rather than reorder it, we'll just go for something different. Alright, before we pour the gold in, I'm just going to scrape all this off the side because what's on the side won't have any fragrance mixed in with it at all. So we need to get that stirred in with the rest so it's all the same. And then we're just going to add in that gold. And now, time just to pour it into the mould. See if I can do it without flooding over the liner. Just tap them down and then just check the sides of your liner, how far down it is to the soap, and see if one looks a little bit higher than the other. Now the back one looks a little bit lower than the one at the front, so I'm going to try and top that up a bit. So it's a very fresh ozonic fragrance, this one. Okay, so that's taken about, my soap's taken about 15 minutes to set up and be ready to pipe on the top. So I'm going to add probably still a little bit of this pink champagne left. So I'm going to add some of it, not all of it, just into the soap batter that we're going to pipe on the top. You see, it's a lot thicker, and that's even without fragrance in it. But it's the TD that thickens it up, you see. So that's it. We're just going to give that a good stir. Because the container's full, you can't really get a good blast with your blender. So I'm just going to give it a good stir with a silicone spoon. Silicone spoons are like the best invention that's ever happened for us soap makers. Silicone, full stop. Silicone moulds, everything. When I first started making soap and embeds, we were using like plastic moulds, which are basically for chocolate making, and they were pretty naff, and they used to break dead easily as well. Silicone practically lasts forever. Okay, so I'm just going to let that thicken up somewhat, and then as soon as it's ready to pipe, we're going to pop it on to the top of our soap. And it'll be the last time that you see me actually piping pink champagne cold processed soap loaf. So you can see we're not there yet, it's not thick enough yet. But isn't it beautiful? So rich and creamy, delicate and delightful. Literally like Strawberry Angel Delight. Doesn't smell like Strawberry Angel Delight, but that's exactly what it looks like. So we're a little bit thicker, but we're not there yet. Now, I just want to mention that this has come out of exactly the same batch of soap as what I poured into the loaves. And all you're doing is you're just letting that soap thicken up until it's ready to pipe. No special recipe for frosting for soap, just your regular recipe. That's it. You can just split it, pour some, and then when that's set, add your fragrance to the frosting, allow that to thicken up, and then you can pipe it straight on to your soap. And that's always the best way, because if you let your soap go too long in the loaf, it gets harder for the frosting to stick to the loaf of soap. But you can actually, you know, make a separate frosting and frost it tomorrow. I've known people, I don't know if it works, but I've actually known people make a loaf of soap or a cake soap or whatever, and then a month later pull it off the shelf and actually pipe some frosting on top. I can't see that actually did stick to the soap, but it might have done, I don't know. Okay, so you can see now this frosting is ready to pop into the piping bag. The nozzle we're using today is the Sweetly Does It 9FT. Be very, very careful when you're putting it into your piping bag, because the points are very, very sharp and pointy, and if you pop a hole into your piping bag, then the soap is going to squeeze out of there. Okay, so let's load up this piping bag, shall we, with the frosting. Now, I don't suggest you buy the Sweetly Does It piping nozzles. They are cheaper, but they're not very strong. So I've had a look, and the nearest Wilton piping nozzle is actually the Wilton 8B. I must buy some myself, actually. I just forget about it. You do one task and then you move on to something else, don't you? And then when you come back to that piping nozzle again, it's like, oh, why didn't I buy the Wilton one? Alright, let's move on, get this piped, shall we? I think last time I did this one, I didn't save enough soap, did I, for the topping. I ended up having a few bars that didn't have any frosting on the top. But it's okay, because I just use them as soap samples. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen today. I'm sure I will use this technique again. It just won't be with the pink champagne soap. Alright. Whoops. Let's hope I've got enough in this piping bag. Have we got any air pockets? Bound to be one in there somewhere. There it is. There's another one. Whew, we've got enough. We've got enough this time. We've got a joiner upstairs. He probably thinks I'm crackers talking to myself. And there we go. And of course, the pink champagne would not be complete without any sprinkles on the top, would it? So just got these at Home Bargains, actually. So there's a few different things there, but I'm actually going to use these strands. I'm not going to use any of the others. I'm not so keen on like the coated sugar. I tend not to use that. But Home Bargains is dead cheap, so we'll just go. I've got 2 containers just in case I haven't got enough. Yeah, taking that whole section. Luckily I've got another one. But what have I done with it? Because what? Honestly, where are you? I've just had it. I've got them both down. There. It's a bit further along the shelf than I thought. Might as well use them all up because we won't be using them again. Not in this soap anyway. So let's go with some beautiful white glitter. I'll put a link to biodegradable glitter down below. And there we are. This is my very last pink champagne cold process soap, and we'll give this a cut tomorrow, and I'm going to try and get this video uploaded tomorrow. You might wonder why I've been uploading just fast videos lately. I was so busy last week. It was my mum's birthday, so we went out for afternoon tea, and then I had so much packing to do orders wise that's all I did for 2 full days. So I didn't get any videos made. I was going to do a packing video, but anyway I didn't get round to it. So really, I know a lot of you don't like these fast videos, but there is always a full version of the fast video that will have been uploaded before the fast video. The only reason I'm uploading the fast videos is if I haven't got anything to upload for you. So it's just a bit of a bonus. I know some of you like them, but I have had a lot of comments saying, oh, we prefer the videos where you talk. Well, those videos are there as well. So if you just have a look through the recent videos, there'll be a recent full-length video of me talking, with me talking, of that particular soap or melt or whatever product it is that's in the fast version. Alright, ready to cut pink champagne for the last time ever. Will it be forever? I don't know. We'll see. So I'm just going to cut a little slither off the end. And then each slice is 3.5 centimeters deep, there to there, and then it's about 8.5 the width, and the height might be a bit less than that. Yeah, it's about 8 centimeters high. And I know some of you appreciate seeing every slice, so that's what we're going to do with this cut. Because this video shouldn't be as long as others, because it's a pretty quick technique. so it doesn't take as long to film or to make as a lot of my other soaps do. And you know, you'll notice, if like me, I've noticed, you know, over the past 10 years that I've been doing YouTube, how techniques have progressed. Same with the bath bombs. You know, bath bombs, you could literally make one bath bomb in a few seconds, but it's not like that now, because people are decorating them and painting them, and like the soap techniques have come on such a lot, so everything is so much more time consuming now. I mean, at one time, like soap wise, cupcake soaps were incredibly time consuming, but compared to a lot of soaps that are being done now, compared to a lot of soaps that are being done now, yeah, there was hardly any time involved in the old soaps. I've ended up with oh, that looks like an eye. I might not put a, I don't know why, I thought I was going to end up with a little piece on the end. Maybe. So for Christmas, I mean, obviously I'm going to do lots of new things. I've got loads of great new ideas, but I'm also going to do some pretty simple older ideas as well. So it's like going back to basics. And I'm really looking forward to that. I was just looking at some old soap videos and thinking, like, how can I, you know, recreate those. So that's what I'm going to do. With some products, not all. So you see the Aztek gold in this is very defined compared to the pink, and you won't get that if you go for a lighter shade of gold. And you know, if you buy the Aztek gold and you want a lighter shade of gold, just don't put as much in. That looks like a pumpkin with a face on it. And there we go, that's the last one. Just using a wet wipe to clean all this up. If you're wondering where this cutter's from, it's from MRK Tools, but he's been closed for quite a long time. It did say due to illness, but had a look on his Etsy page, because it's MRK Tools is on Etsy, and there'll be a link in the description box below to the cutter. I think it says that you can message him if you want to. It's a shame because I've been promoting him ever since he gave me this cutter, but it seems like as soon as he gave me it, there seemed to be an illness in the family or something like that. He didn't tell me that personally. It was wrote on his Etsy, so I'm not giving any information away that I shouldn't be giving away. It was public on there. So I'm just really reciting what was written on his Etsy page. It might not be there now, but yeah, so I think you can get in touch with him. Okay, so it's now time to trim up. So just taking a regular potato peeler and just trimming off all the edges. Makes an unbelievable difference, I think. I mean, in the old days I didn't used to trim them up, but you can see there's just a few loose edges around the edges of the ones that you don't cut, and it just really tidies them up. This is an end piece, so you might be able to hear a compressor in the background. We've got a joiner upstairs, so hopefully you can't hear it because it is upstairs, but I can hear it, so if it's annoying you, I'm just letting you know what's going on, because we're still doing the house. It's taken forever, but most of the downstairs is done except for like cosmetic and decorating, that kind of thing. Upstairs is, as I say, the joiner's just on putting the architraves around the doors. But all the plastering's done, the electrician's done. Yeah, so again, once the doors and everything are on, I think that's, well, John's been tiling Declan's bathroom, because basically all of upstairs will be Declan's, because our bedroom's downstairs. So it'll need painting and carpeting and furnishing, but all that takes time because it takes money. And it takes a long time these days to get any spare cash to do any extra jobs, doesn't it? Like, I wish we could go on holiday more. And we could have if we hadn't done this extension on the house. But this house was built in 1904, so the back of the house, well, all of it, it was really, really decrepit when we bought it. We literally bought it for the location and the views and everything. And basically we've rebuilt the whole thing. There's only a few rooms now that are original. So given a choice of like leaving the house the way it was and being able to have holidays every year, as opposed to having the house the way it is now, I mean, I would absolutely love to have a holiday every year, but given the choice, I would rather have the house and a holiday every maybe 5 years or whatever, because it, you know, as I say, it was pretty decrepit. It'd be rather miserable living in the house the way it used to be. So it's taken us a long time. I mean, 10 years I think, because as long as I've been on YouTube, I think we've been doing this house up. But we're nearly there now. Might be finished when we're retired. Okay, there she is. Our pink champagne for the last time on this channel. Give her a round of applause. I think the swirls have turned out absolutely intricately fantastic. Like, look at that one. So pretty. That's pretty unique too. Most of them are that kind of thing. Actually, I can see a face in there as well. A mouth, a nose and eyes. So a mouth here, eye there. Obviously that eye's missing, but the nose is there. And then an eye. Is it trying to tell me something? Okay, I hope you've enjoyed all the years that I've been making this soap and enjoyed this fragrance. I want to thank every single person that has bought this soap and all the other products that I do over the years. You've all supported me very well, and I'm still here. I'm still here, and I'm really, really thankful for that. So thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you all very soon for another video from Eden's Secret. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share and place a comment in the comment section below. I guess I've got to give one slice of this away to one lucky viewer. So all you need to do to enter is place a comment, and I'll choose a winner in a month. Bye bye for now.